The right haircut can make a woman over 60 look fresher, softer, and more lifted, not because it hides her age, but because it frames her face in the right place. And the wrong cut can do the opposite. It can pull the eye down, flatten the face, or make beautiful silver hair look dated. Same face, same silver hair, two different frames, and suddenly two completely different women in the mirror. Maybe you know that feeling. You keep the same shape because it's safe, easy, or because someone once told you that after a certain age, hair should be short and practical and not a fuss. And then you catch your reflection and think, why does this feel flat? Why does my hair look like it's wearing me? It isn't your face, and it isn't your age. It's the frame. Here's the idea that runs through everything I'm about to show you. Hair is the frame, and your face is the picture. The cut's only job is to frame the picture, so the light comes up, the jaw looks defined, and you are what people see. After 60, the shapes that do that shift a little because hair texture and the face both soften with time. So today I'll show you 5 cuts that frame a face over 60 beautifully. Plus one common cut to rethink, gently, because it may be adding years without you realizing. Stay until the 5th, because it isn't really a separate haircut. It's the small detail that makes almost any cut more flattering. A quick honest note before we begin, because I want this to truly help you. Your face shape, your hair's texture, its density, your curl pattern, and your daily life all matter. So please don't take these as strict rules. Take them as ideas to bring to a stylist you trust. The principle behind each cut matters far more than copying the exact photo, because the principle is what you can adapt to your hair and your face. Tip 1. The chin-length bob, the frame that lifts the jaw. The first cut is the classic chin-length bob, and it endures because it frames the jaw right where a face over 60 often wants lifting. The common issue is letting hair drift to an undefined in-between length that drags the eye down past the jaw and softens the whole face into a droop. The danger isn't length itself, it's a length that hangs without purpose. Here's the principle. A cut that ends with intention around the jaw or chin draws a clean line at the very place the face begins to soften. And that line lifts everything above it. The cheekbones, the jaw, the eyes. The exact point may sit slightly above or below the chin depending on your jaw and neck, but the idea is the same. A clear stopping point that lifts the eye instead of dragging it down. Picture the same woman. Hair at an unshaped mid-length with no clear edge. The face looks longer, heavier, a little tired. The same woman in a crisp chin-length bob with a defined edge. Her jaw looks lifted. Her face looks current, and she reads as polished. Same face. The frame simply moved to the right place, and it ties to the rest of you. A chin bob sits beautifully against an open neckline and lets earrings show, so it works with your clothes. What to ask your stylist? A clean jaw-grazing line, adjusted to your own jaw and neck. If you love your length, even taking it up to graze the jaw makes a visible difference. But length is only half the story. The next cut is about what happens when hair lies too flat. Tip 2. The soft layered cut. Movement that softens. The second cut is the soft layered cut, and it solves what the first can't, flatness. As hair changes texture over 60, a single blunt length can fall heavy and limp, sitting close to the head with no life. Left all one solid weight, it can read severe and flatten the face. The principle is movement. A few soft face-framing layers let hair fall with gentle volume, and that softness echoes the softness of the face rather than fighting it. Layers around the face also break the hard line of hair against skin, so the transition is gentle and the face looks more open. But one important caution, layers should never mean thinning the ends until there's nothing left. The goal is movement around the face, not wispy hair that disappears at the bottom. Fullness is your friend. See the difference. Hair cut all to one heavy length, lying flat like a helmet, it hardens the face. Over-thinned layers with sparse, wispy ends, that's the wrong fix. Soft face framing layers with the fullness kept. That's the right one. It lifts, it moves, it looks alive, and the face looks softer for it. So if your hair has gone flat and heavy, soft layers are the answer. And they pair beautifully with a scarf or collar, because the movement keeps the whole look from reading stiff. What to ask your stylist? Face framing layers without thinning the ends too much. If this is already making you see your own hair differently, give the video a quick like so another woman finds it. And tell me as we go, I read every comment. Now the third. Tip 3. The textured pixie. Short but striking, not severe. The third cut is for the woman who genuinely wants short hair, but striking, not severe. The textured pixie. And the word pixie doesn't have to mean tiny, tight, or harsh. The flattering version always has softness somewhere. A little length on top, movement at the front, or gentle pieces around the ears. The issue is never short hair itself. It's short hair with no texture and no shape, which can look like it gave up. The principle is that short hair needs texture to flatter, because texture keeps it soft and feminine rather than stark. A pixie with a little length and piecey texture on top, softened around the ears and neck, frames the eyes and shows off the bone structure. Short hair after 60 is beautiful when it has design. It only reads as aging when it has no movement, no softness, and no point of view. Watch it. A flat, uniform shortcut sitting like a cap, no movement. It can look severe. A textured pixie with soft pieces around the face and a little height on top. The eyes pop, the face looks open and striking, and she looks effortlessly chic. Same length, entirely different effect. Texture is the whole difference, and the cut should look chosen, not merely convenient. A textured pixie also puts all the focus on your face and earrings, so it pairs stunningly with a strong neckline. What to ask your stylist? Softness on top, gentle movement around the face, and no tight cap shape. Before the last two, if this idea of framing the face is landing, the Effortless Elegance Guide shows outfit combinations that do the same thing with clothes. Necklines, earrings, scarves, and colors that bring light back to the face, from pieces you probably already own. It's in the pinned comment or the QR code on screen. Now the fourth. Tip 4. The collarbone lob. Length without dragging the face. The fourth cut is for the woman who wants to keep some length. The collarbone lob, ending right around the collarbone. The belief that women over 60 must cut their hair short simply isn't true. The issue is only ever very long hair, which can pull the face down and thin at the ends. But the fix isn't going short. It's choosing the right length. The principle is that length flatters as long as it ends at a strong point and keeps some shape. Ending at the collarbone gives you the softness of longer hair without the downward drag, and a few long layers keep the ends looking healthy. And here's something that resonates with many women over 60. If your ends are thin, the collarbone length can actually make hair look fuller, because the weakest ends are removed while you keep softness and movement. The lob isn't a compromise between long and short, it's long hair with a better stopping point. See it. Hair worn very long and thin, hanging straight past the chest. It drags the face down, and the ends look sparse. The same hair taken to a collarbone lob with soft, long layers. It frames the face, holds its shape, and looks rich and intentional. You keep your length, you just give it a flattering place to stop. The lob also flexes with your wardrobe, up for an elegant evening, down and soft for the day. What to ask your stylist? A collarbone stopping point with soft, long layers and healthy-looking ends. And now the fifth, the one I promised, and the master key to all the others. Tip 5. The side swept face frame. The detail that lifts almost any cut. Here it is, the fifth. And it isn't really a separate haircut. It's the finishing detail that makes many cuts more flattering. A soft side part with face framing pieces that sweep gently away from the face. You can add it to a bob, a lob, soft layers, or a pixie. It's less a cut than the master key. Here's why it matters more than the rest. A center part can be beautiful, but when hair falls flat and straight down on both sides, it can create two hard vertical lines that narrow the face. A soft side movement does the opposite. It adds gentle asymmetry, opens the forehead and eyes, and lifts the whole face on a diagonal. It's often the single change that gives the most lift, and it costs nothing but where the part sits and how the front pieces fall. See the difference. A center part with flat, straight-down hair framing the face in hard parallel lines. It narrows and lengthens the face. The same hair with a soft side part and face-framing pieces sweeping away. The face opens, lifts, and softens, and she looks brighter and more current without a single other change. It's the smallest difference in this whole video, and often the biggest. So whichever cut is yours, this is the finishing touch. What to ask your stylist? A soft side movement with front pieces that sweep away from the face. Now, the one to rethink, gently, because this is never about judging anyone. The cut I'd rethink is not short hair, and it is not curls. It's any cut with no softness anywhere. Very short all over. Tight and uniform, the same shape around the entire head, no movement and no frame. The problem isn't age and it isn't your choice. It's simply that this shape gives the face nothing to frame it, so the face is left exposed and the cut can read dated rather than chosen. And the fix is never drastic. A few softer pieces around the face, a little length somewhere, one gentler edge. What to ask your stylist? To keep a little softness somewhere. Around the face, at the top, or near the neckline. The goal isn't a different woman. It's the same woman. With the years, the cut was quietly adding handed back. So here's the heart of it. Hair is the frame, and your face is the picture. The goal after 60 isn't to hide your age or chase a younger face. It's to choose a frame that lets your real face come forward. Softer, brighter, lighter, more seen. A chin bob lifts the jaw. Soft layers bring movement. A textured pixie makes short hair look chosen. A collarbone lob keeps length without the drag. And the side-swept face frame softens almost any of them. A good cut doesn't turn you into someone else. It removes the heaviness or the hard line that was distracting from you. That's elegance after 60. Not pretending time hasn't passed, but framing the woman time has made more interesting. Tell me honestly in the comments, what shape is your hair closest to right now? A bob, layers, a pixie, a lob, long hair, or short curls? And has a haircut ever made you feel instantly more like yourself? One word, or the whole story? I'd love both. And if you found a cut that did that for you, share it below so another woman reading this can bring the idea to her own stylist. I read every comment, and I answer. If this helped you see hair as the frame, watch the next video on screen now. 3 colors that make gray hair look expensive after 60. Because the right cut brings shape to your face, and the right color near your face brings back the light. Save this to bring to your next appointment and send it to a friend who's worn the same shape for years. Take care of yourself with intention, and I'll see you very soon.